I am vengeance.
No spoilers, you cocksucker.
That's not a spoiler.
Fuck you. No spoilers, cocksucker.
You spoiled some shit on Twitter too.
I want nothing.
I didn't spoil anything.
I saw the original tweet you commented on. God
what the tweet?
Nah, don't say nothing.
All it said was that there's a cameo, and the cameo was.
Hey, nigga, what? Shut the fuck up! Shut up!
You see?
Shut up! I don't want to hear. I've like barely been online. I don't want to hear shit.
You should be banned from all Twitter. Is what you should do.
If it's next week, all right, you can start letting it slip just a little bit, nigga. It's opening weekend. Shut the fuck up.
This man is shady.
That's not a spoiler.
I don't want to hear there's a cameo because now you know what I'm gonna do. I'm waiting in the movie for a fucking cameo. I don't like that. I don't want to be waiting for shit.
Movie and think there's gonna be a fucking cameo in it?
I don't know. It's different, right? Matt Reeves is gonna be doing things differently. Like it's just fuck you.
It's different.
See,
God damn it.
Movie.
Now I'm like watching the movie. I'm like, oh, there's gonna be a cameo in this.
Well, that's your fault.
Wait for the thing. I don't want to do that. I don't want extra. I just want to enjoy it. I want to be immersed.
Got rid of Zen K-Dot, man.
I was feeling good this morning. God damn it!
Wait, you came on here yelling. The first thing you did before the camera even started was you yelling.
No, I was listening to a goddamn Ed Sheeran song and feeling good this morning. And then that motherfucker tells me that he saw the goddamn Den of Thieves before Heat, which I'm sorry, I'm justified in feeling that way. Okay?
Hey, no. This was the very first thing you
first logged on, sir. You were yelling at Ryan.
I muted you. I had to mute you. The first thing I had to do was mute.
Oh, right. That Toronto loving Buffalo Bill head bitch ass motherfucker sitting in that.
All right. So.
So, moving on from movies, we're going to talk some basketball, and we want to start with the state of the Western Conference. And I want to ask you guys this. I know Chris Paul's gotten injured. He's out for like 6 to 8 weeks, probably like more like 4 to 6 at this point now. And I just want to ask you guys, how good is Phoenix?
I don't know if y'all had the opportunity to watch the game last night. But they're pretty good.
Yep. Still good.
First off, Cam Johnson looks like a 6'9", 14-year-old. But he got under Julius's skin and got him ejected and then proceeded to hit 9 threes, including the buzzer-beating game-winning three. The team's just good, even without their two superstars. Yeah. Like they were down, 17 points at one point and came all the way back.
Yeah.
Defensively, they have a couple holes in terms of just like switching off and like because they have a bunch of young players, but they also have a couple old ones, and they just kind of switch off or don't get down the court fast enough. And not Jake Crowder, who's their center, DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, Ayton.
That's what I want to talk about.
He looked awful last night.
So that's my thing.
Biyombo made some mistakes because he's a little uncoordinated. Maybe I don't know what it is, but like defensively, Biyombo looked better than Ayton, which should not be a thing. DeAndre Ayton is a tall, coordinated monster. But yeah, no, that team's really good, and they're deep. They're obviously deep enough to beat about anybody in the East, even without their two superstars. So.
And I would say, and that's why I just want to add, we don't have to talk about this like in depth, but that's why I wouldn't pay DeAndre Ayton like a super max, because he's not even a third guy really. Like he's not, like he needs a point guard or somebody else to make him go. In a situation like this where Devin Booker's out and Chris Paul's out, you would hope he gets like 35, 36. Yeah. Like even if it doesn't have to be an efficient 35 or 30 or 25. He just needs to be able to do it, and he can't. He had 8 points last night.
Well, my issue with him last night was on the glass. Like he had 3 rebounds.
3 rebounds. 8 points, 3 rebounds.
Right. Like
I had a question.
What pick was he? Fighting for anything.
What pick was he?
It was just you can't, especially
first,
if your superstars
right?
are out.
Yep.
He was first.
What year? Yeah, he was. What year was that?
Was that the Luka year?
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah.
And you remember Marvin Bagley went second?
Yeah.
And then Luka and Jaren Jackson, Trae Young.
The Hawks really could have had Luka, bro.
They did have Luka.
That's the shit that kills me. They
drafted Luka.
And then they traded Luka.
Yeah,
so they traded Luka.
They shouldn't have traded their pick for
But
Trey.
they did.
And
I get the idea why they did it, but no.
Who is?
Yes,
who
no.
is who is to know?
I'm glad they did though. I'm really happy they did.
The Suns are going to be just fine.
Yeah, they are.
They could literally, what are they, 51-12, 52-12?
They
Something
are
like that.
51 and 12.
Best record in the league, 51-12. They are 8 games ahead of the next team we're probably going to talk about, the Golden State Warriors.
Do we think they're 8 games ahead better?
Yeah, they could take a fat shit.
And that's what I want to talk about. No.
Okay.
Well, the Warriors lost their last
shit.
3.
They can take a fat shit for the next 2 weeks and still be the number 1.
Phoenix does not scare me in the West. It's like the West is wide open. But all right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. But the
I don't think it's
Clay's
wide
coming back.
I look up until 3 days ago, you could still convince me the Lakers had a chance, and I would have listened.
Have you watched basketball? Have you watched the Lakers play basketball?
They have 4 or 5 Hall of Famers. I'm sorry,
That's
I'm
fine.
never counting them out.
That's
I just
fine.
think AD's got to come back healthy, be healthy.
If you put Isaiah Stewart, the old one, on the Wizards right now, they're still bad because he's old and not very good anymore. So
Isaiah Stewart's not a Hall of Famer.
You know what's okay?
Neither of that. Yes.
If you said that in like November, it'd be true. If you said it in December, it'd be true. If you said it in January, it'd be true. Hey, I just waiting for AD to get back, and you know what's going to happen in 4 weeks. They're
going to be eliminated. And that's the thing. Is I've been holding out, but it's like, all right. But if AD comes back and they're 20 games out, huh?
The curse of K-Dot. Ever since you said AD was top 5.
Well, hey, Godspeed. I fucking hate the Lakers, so I'm good to go. I can't stand them motherfuckers. It hurts me Jack Nicholson's a fan. Oh, yeah. I'm a fan of him.
Dude, they're
Keem's a fan too, right, Keem?
I'm just the whole
Golden State is.
Are we gonna talk about the Lakers?
Yeah,
is the Lakers on the?
It's third.
I mean, Charles Barkley said he'd never talk about him again. So
it's after this topic. Right. But we can transition into Laker talk if you guys.
No, let's just do that.
I would love that.
All right. So my next question is: will the Lakers actually make the playoffs? They are currently 9th in the West, sitting at a great record of 27-35.
That gaps between them and the Clippers are starting to grow.
They are obviously we have the play-in, but they're currently 5.5 back from the Clippers, the other LA team who's been without its 2 stars all season.
What's the plan? What's the how many teams are in the play-in?
10. Oh, I mean, was 4 play-in teams. The 10th team is currently the New Orleans Pelicans, who are a half a game back in the loss column behind the Los Angeles Lakers.
They're going to pass the Lakers.
And the Trailblazers are 11th. They are 2 games back behind the Lakers for 9th. And then you got
Sacramento.
The Spurs.
Spurs.
Hold your horses. The Spurs, who are 3.5 games back behind the Lakers. Oh, also the Lakers have the toughest strength of schedule left in the league. So will they make the playoffs?
No, but my question is so the top 10 or the 10th seed is the last one to be in the play-in, right?
Yes.
All right. So the Pelicans are going to pass the Lakers because the Pelicans are actually good now.
Did you see what happened when BI came back and then they went to Los Angeles against those future Hall of Famers?
Yeah.
And BI said
the guy they shouldn't have traded. Yes.
Yeah. You remember what you did to me?
Yes.
Who are you?
Hold his 30, bitch.
Who are you? I am is what he said. And he dropped 30 on him. Dude, the Lakers are probably the most disjointed basketball team I've ever watched. Defensively, offensively, it's like a spider where you know how they can move all their legs independently. It looks like a spider with no brain. There's so much stuff happening and you have no idea what's going on. They're hiking the ball.
They always do that though.
That you don't do that when you're getting blown out by 40 by the New Orleans Pelicans.
They do it all the time.
You can't do it. They defensively, they don't have any shape. They don't have
an identity.
Nothing. Yeah, there's nothing to hold on to with the Lakers except for they have LeBron. And LeBron,
and he's not good enough defensively anymore to keep it together.
Or
He can't play the
offensively.
Draymond Green role.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about
And
this.
he put up 6
'Cause
points.
I watched that
against
game.
The Clippers. Was it against the Clippers? No, who they play? It was the Mavs game. The first
Yeah.
half, I think he had 6 points.
No. He brought him back like towards the end. But I do want to talk about this one point. You brought up the fact that he's not good defensively, right? In that same Mavericks game, Luka was hunting LeBron. He would call for the switch every time down the court, and he scored every time down the court.
I want to highlight one point that on what James is saying. He called for the switch off of Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I want LeBron.
A shorter player.
Give me LeBron.
He was like, "Come here for the pick."
Yeah, he literally said, "Come here."
You bring Bron. He said,
"Bring that
Bron.
ass here." Now,
And he gave him work, and I loved it.
He gave the whole team work, but he's like, no, LeBron, you need this. I oughta now here, and he whooped his ass, and I loved it. Loved every second of it.
And the
I feel bad for LeBron, but
I don't feel bad for him. He's fine. The episode of The Shop on Friday was great.
I do hope that at some point we talk about the Mavericks, but I'll wait for another couple of weeks.
Here's the other thing, and it seems like it's every single game. Like every single game, somebody cooks the Lakers. Like Reggie Jackson went in there and he was just like, hold this, please hold this. Eventually they should have a good defensive game, right? Where one individual does not roast them, but it's just every single game. It's every game.
I will say I will shoot them a little bit, and I do think that having 80 back could make some difference as far as having rim protection. That could make a difference because their defenders are fucking Olay, like Olay, like that's I can't name in my opinion.
Wide
I
open.
can name just a really good defender on that team. Like they have some capable guys, like Austin Reeves is capable. He's capable. Avery Bradley used to be capable, but he's kind of getting cooked at this age. And like LeBron he can lock in sometimes, but really, to be honest, if you're good enough, you can get by Bron. You can play Bron. Like he's not as much of a threat anymore defensively. He's still a threat offensively, but defensively, he's not. Obviously, he's not 2013 LeBron.
Look, up until like I said,
a good defender.
Yeah,
and he can rim protect. That's what they don't have. People just drive by you, and there's nobody behind you to back you up. Right?
It's one of the reasons the Warriors are struggling right now.
So this is where I'm saying as far as the Lakers right now is that up until, like I said, about a week, 2 weeks ago, roughly, I was just like, all they got to do is wait for AD to come back. I know right now you hear everybody talking because, they're not playing at the level at which they should play with the amount of guys that, not their current talent level, but guys that have had talent. It's kind of rough to see them work that way, except watching the Lakers burn. It's just fucking hilarious to everybody, right? But I don't think there's anybody in the West that scares me. And I think that's why I always thought the Lakers themselves had a shot, is that if I'm looking at all over the West, and I know I'm going to catch shit, whatever, every single one of those teams that I look through, other than Phoenix, and once again, Phoenix doesn't scare me. If I'm looking at Golden State, up and down, especially right now, on a downslope, every single one of these teams have shown at least flashes of, okay. And then some of the other ones where they aren't necessarily have a good record, I'm still looking across their roster. And I'm like, all right, you've got one or two great guys. But if I'm looking at a 7-game series in the playoffs, I look towards my stars, even if they're fucking washed up stars to a certain degree, if you have AD and what he brings from a defensive standpoint on the court with it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that like they are shoo-ins to win anything. I don't think that at all. But what I'm saying is that if AD is healthy, I don't think any of those West teams look at those guys and say, yeah, we want the Lakers. I think that was probably why Luka did what he did, was to show what it is that he can do to LeBron. It's kind of like hyping up to a certain degree, like, hey, we're not afraid of you guys. But I'm looking at, like, even going into the season or out throughout the season, I don't see anybody looking at that Lakers team, if there's a healthy AD, and saying, I want them. I don't think anybody wants them.
I hear you, but the point about Luka is Luka's been doing this to everybody. Like these past, like ever since the Porzingis trade, like he did the same shit to the Warriors.
And I think Luke is trying to put fear in people's hearts.
Clay,
right?
you the best defender? Come here.
Right. Luke is trying to put fear in motherfuckers' hearts.
I know, but Clay just coming back. But he's their best defender right now.
Do it against Draymond.
No, he will.
He won't. He won't.
He will.
He won't.
All right.
I bet you he won't.
All I know, here's what I know.
Hey, look, I'm the only one that's been paying up. All right. So.
Oh yeah, I still gotta pay you. Look, all I know is this: the championship's gonna be in the East. The championship is gonna be won by an Eastern team. That's the only thing I'm sticking firm to. Yeah, I know.
How?
Look all you want to.
How?
Are we
Brooklyn? How?
We're talking about Philadelphia,
I just got a meeting for work, and I was like,
unless it's Brooklyn, how?
Brooklyn, nigga, Brooklyn.
Yeah, unless it's Brooklyn, how? We've seen James Harden in the playoffs before. We know what happens then.
Yeah.
Like, hey, great regular season, buddy. Cool.
All right.
Cool story, bro.
You seen Harden with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey off those pick and rolls? You seen that in the playoffs?
I've seen with Clint Capella and Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook and fucking I've seen him with the White House.
I haven't heard you say Joel Embiid.
It fucking matter.
I haven't heard you say Joel Embiid.
what has Joel Embiid done?
It doesn't matter.
What
has he done?
When has Joel Embiid had this level of shooter talent around him?
He gave up most of his I
get it. What have you done for me lately? I get I get Doc Rivers and him being a fucking choke artist. I get everybody's memories of Joel crying. I get it. I understand. I'm saying right now, if I'm looking at that team, I'm looking at Philadelphia and what it is that they are only going to get better. You say whatever you want to. I understand.
That is true.
And I get it.
They just started.
And I get it. They have to prove it in the playoffs before anybody's going to believe in them the way that you need to. I'm already there. I believe in Philadelphia. I also believe in fucking Milwaukee. I believe in Miami. And I fucking look at Brooklyn. If they can get their shit together, I look at, especially with the vaccine mandates kind of going away and Kyrie being able to come back full time. I'm looking at that and I'm like, the East, I think, is going to have the championship. Okay.
Here's why I think you're incorrect. So let's just the Suns, right? In their own division are 30-9, which means that the East, the entirety of the East, has beat them a total of 2 times this year.
Okay. DeAndre Ayton in a 7-game series against Joel Embiid. You want that?
I think.
You want that? You want that? You want those odds? You want those odds?
Who's checking Booker?
Is the Brooklyn Nets.
They're not checking. It's just fucking shooting. It's shooting and it's going to the free throw line. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at Philly. I'm like, oh, Doug, who's the freak? Like, you can't hack a dude that makes the percentage of shots that he makes from the free throw line.
K-Dot, I hear you, but look, let me ask you this question. Why hasn't he won anything before?
Embiid will show up. Embiid will show up just fine. You know who won't? James Harden, because you know what he's going to do? You know the difference between the regular season calls and the playoff calls? Playoff is a little bit more tougher. They're not calling that bullshit. So, like, for example, yesterday when he was 2 for 2 with 12 fucking points, that shit isn't happening in the playoffs. It turns into 2 for 5. It turns into 2 for 5 or 2 for 6 with 12 points.
Totally understand. Like, look, I won't even fault you at that point. Once again, like I said, if you were to look at anything historically, when it comes to Harden in the playoffs, when it comes to Doc Rivers in the playoffs, when it comes to Joel Embiid in the playoffs, got it. I'll list it all for you. Totally understood. I don't give a fuck. I'm not picking against Philadelphia. I'm not. I'm just not going to.
He can get a 50 burger and they still lose by 15 or 20.
Look, Phoenix right now, regardless of whatever it is you think, we already saw what happened in the finals against fucking Giannis last year. So all I'm saying is that regardless, I'm not fucking afraid of the Phoenix goddamn Suns. I will never be afraid of the Phoenix goddamn Suns. Right now, the only team in the West that I can say if they can get their fucking shit together with the slot that they're on is Golden State. It's somebody that I look in the playoffs, I'm like, that amount of talent defensively and offensively in a 7-game series is a problem. Beyond that, I'm not afraid of any of them because I don't think DeAndre Ayton can stay there in the fucking paint with a Joel. I think Joel will fucking destroy that man the same way that Giannis destroyed that man.
But the problem is the other 4 players on the court you can't rely on them.
In a 7-game series, in the playoffs, it's your fucking stars that get it done. It's your star that gets it done. You saw it last year with Giannis. It's your star that gets it done. I'm not picking anyone over fucking Joel Embiid in the fucking playoffs.
Let me ask you this question. Is this the first year that Joel Embiid's been in the playoffs?
No, but you know what he also had last year?
What? All right, let me ask you this question. One person doesn't lose the series.
It was not him.
Joel Embiid was there.
Whoa.
Was there.
Joel Embiid
doesn't lose the series.
I get it. Joel Embiid was there, but the style of offense and the style of play that they have with Ben and with Joel, what did everybody always say? The way that they play offensively and the way that they're both there in the paint, they do not do a good job clearing each other out, and it fucks them up offensively. Guess who's not there anymore to fuck them up offensively? Here's the thing. The James Harden, Joel Embiid pick and roll game.
Yeah, it's nice.
Dog, come on. And then Maxey, the more Maxey's fucking closing speed, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry.
What else do they have?
How many weeks till he walks this back?
I mean, it'll take 5 because of playoffs. It'll take 6 weeks.
I would say that the team that scares me the most in the East right now is the Celtics. They're looking good, and
the Celtics they're getting better.
They've looked. I've watched their last 5 games. They're looking very.
Nobody said shit about Chicago yet, but
I haven't beaten anybody. Hold on. That's what I'm saying. Hold on. We started this entire thing.
The Suns up there. I'm listening to why Joel Embiid is going to single-handedly beat the clear best team in the league right now.
What is happening right now?
But we started this entire thing with me getting on the rant, and then I started defending my position on Joel. But I think the thesis that I had was that the championship is going to be in the East. That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I'm saying right now that I'm putting firmly is that I believe the championship will be in the East.
My rebuttal to that is no. The only way the championship comes out of the East is if it's Brooklyn. Any other team gets beat. And you guys are talking about how the Western Conference is kind of wide open and shit. It's not. It's fucking better than the East. You really only got 2, maybe 3 contenders. You got some they look really good. The Grizzlies are young. Can they do it? They won't. But can they? But can they do it?
Not the Wizards.
I was just making sure I didn't have a strike.
No. And even Phoenix is up there. Is Phoenix, Golden State, and the Lakers are a strong hey man, what if? It's a Marvel what if scenario. It's if they get it right, maybe they can go from the 10th seed to the NBA Finals. It'll be another notch in LeBron's belt. And that's great. And to be honest, now if we get the Lakers versus the 76ers, do you know what I think is going to happen? The Lakers will beat their ass. And I don't think AD is as good as Embiid.
Yeah. All right. My entire thing with the West is that, once again, as you said, if all the stars align, the fact that the Lakers, I think, legitimately still have a shot. And it sounds like, Keem, if all the stars align for you, you think they do too. It shouldn't be the case. They fucking suck. I'm sorry.
No, that's not true. See, that's not true. If all the stars align, you said it, or James said, they have 4 Hall of Famers. They should be able to. They should be a top 10 team. They should be a number 1 team. They haven't had the rim protection most of the season, so I'm giving them some slack. Okay, so you figured out that you have literally no perimeter defenders and not another rim protector on your team. And so you're all right, we really, 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 really need AD. Okay, so maybe they make them go. I don't think it's going to be Lakers. I think it's the Warriors or bust. That's if I was a betting man, I would take whatever the Warriors are to win the West. I would bet 1,000 on them right now because Draymond's coming back in the middle of March. They're getting Wiseman back. He's starting to travel, and he's the only guy that I feel like could help them in a series where they have to deal with a team that has some size, like an Embiid. He's not going to play 40 fucking minutes, but he has enough size to where it's I'm not just going to hold you, and you don't have to use up Draymond's body to guard a 7'3" guy an entire game.
Which is why I said that, right? I said the Golden State's the team from the West that scares me the most against anybody in the East. I mean, I said that. That. I do believe that there's certain teams in the West, like Golden State. I'm saying if Golden State gets their shit together and they get these guys back, I love Golden State's opportunity as far as anybody in the West. I'm not picking against Golden State in the West if they have everybody back and they start playing like themselves again, right? That's where I'm looking at is Phoenix, all these. I don't trust them as much as I trust a Golden State to get the job done. And if I'm looking at the East, I understand all the track record shit. I get all that. I'm just saying that combination of those two guys in Philadelphia to me is terrifying. And the idea that they're going to get better as they go to me is terrifying. And the aspect of like, I know that Harden didn't sign that player option, I guess, is something that happened. There was something that, and they're saying that maybe Philadelphia's going to have enough money to go get another superstar. Who knows? But it's just, I just say it. But I'm a Philadelphia like stan to a certain degree. I've been like on their fucking nuts for 2 years. Daryl Morey, just like it's whatever. It's just, I get it.
I foresee in about 5.5 weeks' time, Doc Rivers doing one of these. Well, so.
Can you win with James Harden as your starting point guard? I can't tell you. I don't know.
I'll tell you this: if Doc Rivers even think about doing that, Daryl Morey's going to fire his ass before he gets the captain. It's a new sheriff.
He came in late in the season, and we really didn't have enough time for everybody to mesh together. But we'll be back next. Just good group of guys.
So that was going to be the next question, like. Just what is the ceiling for Harden in the Sixers? So we've kind of covered that already. But
I said what my ceiling is. What do you guys think the ceiling is for the 76ers? Y'all don't believe it.
Before we get to that, I would like you guys to all answer the original question, which had nothing to do with the fucking Eastern Conference, which is will the Lakers make the playoffs? I just need no's from you guys.
Not a chance. Not a chance in hell.
James,
the playoffs, as in you mean like the play-ins?
No, the playoffs.
Oh,
when is AD coming back?
Nobody.
It don't
knows.
Matter, fam.
They said 4 weeks. So
4 weeks from when?
2 weeks ago. So hopefully middle of March.
You said middle of brunch.
Middle of March. Are you deaf today?
Middle of brunch.
It just cut out.
When they come up for the third round of mimosas, he's gonna show right up.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, yep. Anthony Davis walking in.
2 weeks
later, down by 50.
Dude, I don't want to say yes, and I want to say yes at the same time. The Lakers imploding is hilarious. Also, did every Lakers fan forget you guys won a championship? So stop fucking bitching. Like, it's just yes. Lakers fan need to stop fucking bitching.
But K-Dot, like they won, you remember? But before that, you couldn't find them. Like after Kobe retired?
No shit. But that's the thing is like you look at those dredge.
They come back and they're like, yeah, we back. And then it's hard for them.
No. You won a championship. Now shut the fuck up. Like that's it.
You know who you're talking? Like it's the
Lakers fans. They fucking suck dick. I know, and they love the color purple.
Got half the championships in the NBA,
not the movie. Like, you know? Fucking bitch ass Lakers fans, fucking liking the color purple and shit. Just don't even know what it is they're doing from a fan perspective. Motherfuckers just.
All right. So I think even if AD comes back, all right, if AD comes back and is 100%, we're saying if he's 100% healthy, if AD is AD and Russ stops doing what he's doing.
Doesn't work. The same thing I said about Philly, like before when they had been. It just doesn't fundamentally work.
I still think they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think they do. I'm not gonna count Braun out.
But I'm counting the rest of that awful, terrible, horrible, very no good squad the fuck out.
I think they will. I hope they don't. I hope they miss the playoffs. I hope they finish the regular season on a 23 game losing streak.
Yeah, me too. I hope 23
because their first round pick, it depends. Like it either goes to the Grizzlies or is it the Celtics? It's somebody. It's Grizzlies. If the Grizzlies get it, if it's like 11 through 30, and somebody else gets it from 1 through 10, I forget who. I think maybe the Pelicans. Yeah, maybe the Pelicans. And I just hope that the Grizzlies get it. So
wait, I got a question.
What?
Hold on. So the plans, like, is it the 5th and 6th seed, or is it just the 6th?
7, 8, 9, 10. So 7 plays 8, and 9 plays 10, and the winner of 7 and 8 is like in the playoffs. They're 7, and then the loser of that plays the winner of 9, 10, and then the winner of that is in the playoffs.
Okay.
I'm hopeful the Lakers pull it together, run through the West in the playoffs, and then have the biggest collapse in the history of basketball in the finals, just to fuck with everybody's heads. And then there's the discussion about whether or not they need to trade Braun and trade AD. The answer is yes to both. Whatever it is, it's gonna be. God damn it! I love when the Lakers suck.
Oh,
It is the best of times.
No, I love when they underperform. I should say that. I love when they underperform.
the Mavericks are coming. Just saying.
Oh, fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
really.
I'm so sick of it. That's fuck out of here. They're not coming anywhere. They're coming for the 5th seed and they're going to go to a second round series and
They're already
be
at
out.
the 5th seed right now. They're coming for
Yes,
the
and that's where they're going to
third.
fucking stay too. They're not
No,
getting any higher,
He
Okay.
misspoke. They came for the 5th seed. That's where they're at.
and that's
Okay.
where they're staying. They'll
Okay.
beat the Jazz, and then they're done. Like
we're 1.5
fuck out-
games we're 1.5 games out of the 4th seed versus the Jazz. And yeah, so okay. I mean, it's not my fault.
Okay,
My
you're
best
going to
on
be
all of
the
us
4
right
and
now.
the 5 teams play each other, James. So it doesn't.
Mhm.
You're just playing for home field advantage. You're a fucking
right.
second tier team.
It's
Nobody gives a shit about the Mavericks.
it's Utah.
Nobody gives a
Denver.
shit. They don't have a number 2 superstar. Your second best player is Jalen Brunson. Nobody whose name is Brunson, you fear him in the playoffs. He should be fucking in Star Wars or some
Wait,
shit.
what's your
Fuck
team
out.
again?
It's
What's
the
your
Mavericks,
team
bro.
again?
Get out of here. What are you
What's your
talking
team again?
about, bro?
What's your team again?
What are you talking about, bro?
What's your
Like,
team?
it's the
Answer the
Mavericks.
question. What's your
It's the
team?
Mavericks.
What's your team?
Like they're coming. Are you saying they're coming?
Are you gonna
He
answer the
won't
question? Or you
Is
just
that
gonna
what
keep
you mean?
talking?
Are
You
you
gonna answer
saying
the
that they're
question?
coming for the future?
Okay.
They're not
All right.
coming for anything
You're
this
not
year but
talking.
an L
You're
in
not
the
answering
second
anything.
round.
You're just yelling. Are you gonna answer the
I'm
question?
not yelling. I want you to make
Answer
the
the
argument.
question. It's simple. Just answer the question. What's your
Answer
team?
what question?
What is your team?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Okay.
He isn't telling us all the time that his team's gonna do this and that. I will give him
Yeah.
that.
No, I'm not like sucking my team's dick. Like it's no, like we don't fuck. It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Okay. My team is currently 8-2 in the last 10. And beat the team that you were talking about.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
Great. All right, K-Dot.
All right, James, where do you think the Mavericks end
Either
up?
way.
No.
K-Dot. Either way. When
The Utah Jazz are
Um,
8-2 in the last.
shut
10. Go
up.
ahead, K-Dot.
I'm talking.
The
K-Dot.
Nuggets are 8-2 in the last. 10.
K-Dot.
Go ahead, K-Dot.
The
K-Dot,
forgettable
either
teams.
Moving on.
No,
K-Dot.
hold on, what's up?
Either way. You remember how Keem was saying, or no, it was Ryan. Ryan was saying like how long it's going to take for you to walk it back. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. I want you to record, like have the clip. Either the Mavs are
Have
shit or they're good in the playoffs, right? So either
Record
take
it.
my part of me saying whatever or whatever part that he says and just play it.
Yes,
Please.
and where Shaquem said
Cool.
they're going to make it to the second round and hold an L, and as if that's like a bad thing.
Okay.
Hey,
for a
can
team with-
somebody document it? Can somebody write this shit
I
down?
got
Because I
it.
ain't fucking
I
doing
got it.
all this shit.
It's cool.
Uh,
I mean,
oh,
I'm
shit,
the one
they're
that
gonna make
keeps
it to
track
the
of
conference
everything anyway.
finals.
It's cool.
They
All
made
I'm-
it to the conference finals.
All I'm saying is that Utah and Denver are the most forgettable franchises in the league, and I think Dallas has kind of put themselves right in between them. So I don't give a fuck.
Michael Porter Jr. is coming back. Denver's better than Dallas.
Okay.
But it's just it's these teams that are like, oh man, they're gonna make the playoffs. They look good, and then they're out in 2 rounds,
Didn't
and
they
it's
say
like,
this-
all right,
I
whatever.
said that-
Like, what
we
are
all said the
talking
same shit about the Suns last year.
No. The Suns aren't. The Suns aren't as
Yeah,
forgettable.
yeah.
No, I've always said Denver
No,
and Utah.
no, I'm not saying that they're forgettable. I'm saying we didn't give the Suns a chance last year.
And that
Yes,
was a
sir.
rare occurrence.
Huh?
And a lot of teams
No,
got hurt
when the
for them
Suns
to
when the
be where they
Suns
are.
made it to the finals, right? Like,
A lot of teams
or
got
whenever.
hurt for them
We
to
didn't-
be where they are. But yeah,
okay,
they had to.
Well, we'll
so,
see.
like, are we
I
going to
don't
count
even
that injury
remember
luck?
who I picked in the last
Yeah.
election.
but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Did I have the Lakers? Who the fuck did I have in the West last year? I don't even remember.
Shit, I don't know either. I think I had the Clippers.
I had the Clippers.
But yeah, like every
Is Paul-
fucking
is
time
Kawhi
we in the
coming back
playoffs, we
this
play the
year?
Clippers.
Yeah, they
No.
said I thought everybody.
Paul
had
George
the
is though.
That'd be
potential
that'd be
back.
great if like the Clippers just like come out of nowhere and like, hey, we're back.
We're back.
and, and make the finals.
Crypto.com bank
No,
arena
but like-
bullshit. It's on.
Not, but like K-Dot, you started this whole segment off by saying the West is wide open, right?
Yeah,
and
I
the
saw-
Clippers aren't bad.
I know.
Like the moves they made at the deadline, they're fucking working.
They're not. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not laughing them off.
I know.
Kawhi comes back and he's like, he thought I wasn't coming back this season.
I don't think Kawhi's coming back. But
No,
Paul George, yeah.
What I'm saying from the West when I say it's wide open is you can pick any one of those teams out of the top 10 And if you told me they won the West, I'd be like, okay.
Unless I'm gonna be honest, except for the Utah Jazz and the Minnesota Timberwolves, I don't necessarily disagree with you.
That's what I'm saying.
Those two, I can never see doing anything. Those two will never do it. They will never do it.
The Suns never do it either, but they did. Like,
historically, the Suns always like have a good team and like they're in the conversation, and they don't like.
No, they don't.
Jason Kidd in the past, like Steve Nash, they don't have like in their history, they don't have a history of success.
Yes, like, but you're saying like the past few years they just been shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying historically as a franchise, they're good.
All right, historically, okay, fair.
That's what I was. Okay, so like the Timberwolves, no. Jazz, no, I don't think so. I just don't think they have a superstar. I don't think they have the
Jazz
superstar.
Did have.
Okay, so let me put it this way. I got to put it to you this way. I'm going to put it to you this way. This is why, to make sure you understand what I'm saying about the West. I think it's wide open, right? But when you said that, they don't have a superstar. Their superstars just aren't as good as the East superstars. So, like, I'm looking at these guys in the West. I'm like, I look across and who's the superstar in the West that scares me the most? Luka? We know how I feel about that one. It's just like,
no,
come the fuck on. No, but I'm dead serious. Like, hold on. Devin Booker, maybe. Devin Booker, maybe. But beyond that, I'm looking at the other guys in the West. And I'm like, all right, if we're coming to a 7-game series, then I got to look for my stars, right? My stars. I'm looking at Brooklyn, same thing as you said. I'm like, yeah, no, Brooklyn's got those stars. Like, it is what it is. Even with the Philadelphia shit, I'm looking at Philadelphia. I'm like, yeah, they definitely got stars. Giannis, come on. I'm just saying. Well,
okay. Right, how do you feel about Luka?
Like, Jokic, Luka, Steph, Bron?
Like, yeah.
Like, we're not doing that.
Look, I love Steph. Okay. But Bron got to make it with that goddamn Lakers team. He cannot carry him.
I'm just saying superstar.
I get it. Hold on, but I get it. But Bron by himself as a superstar, dragging the carcasses of these motherfuckers with him, who they weren't allowed to be dragged because Russ is just going to fuck. Every time LeBron tries to drag, Russ will just stomp his foot in the ground. What are you doing?
Right. But keep
Luka's
going.
playing it. I mean, not Luka, but Luka is playing the same. But
do you believe in the Mavericks? Do you believe in the Mavericks team? Do you believe in the Mavericks team?
That's fine.
No, I don't believe in it. But so here's the thing, because I want to clarify. If Dallas did it, I would be like, okay, cool. It's a possibility. It's not a thing.
Yeah, that's all. I'm not saying we're going to do it.
It's not like, oh shit, it's coming out of nowhere. I can see Dallas doing it because of Luka, right?
Agreed.
I can never see Utah doing it because I don't believe in Donovan Mitchell, right? Phoenix last year, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, it's fair. It's fair. It's within the realm. I don't think Donovan Mitchell's a top 15 player. So he can't literally all the other players would have to get injured. Like, I mean this, and I mean this. Literally every other team, their superstar would have to get injured for the Utah to make it. I don't see it. I just don't see it.
But the best,
you're down, like you're not counting Gobert at all.
He's not a superstar.
I don't. Yeah, the biggest. Here's the thing. Here's what I also know: the best player in the West right now. Played off the court in the playoffs from
a perimeter perspective. What happens is because of the way they play defense, and they bring him up, and then the mid range is open, and that's why teams kill them in the playoffs, because teams go for the mid range in the playoffs. If you're good at it, you can beat the Jazz.
That's true.
I don't want to live in a world where Nikola Jokic is the best player in my conference. I'm sorry. I just don't want him.
He's really a top 5 player this year.
He is. He should be leading candidate for MVP. Anybody that doesn't have him leading in the MVP race, you just don't like Jokic, which I don't. It's just weird. It's so weird. But it's just,
you mentioned John Morant.
Ja's been doing some amazing shit. I don't get it. But I'm just saying, if you actually look at the Jokic is just, I don't want it to be the case, but goddamn,
Jokic are the 6th seed.
I think Embiid's leading. Jokic is 2nd.
I think the only reason Jokic is not leading is because he's Jokic, and no one wants to give him 2 in a row.
I think it's because they're the 6th seed and not the 3 seed. But that's just me. I know he's had to do it a lot. But I'm just saying that's just me.
Like, I'm standing firm on what I said. He's got it. They're fucking here. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. He has it.
All right. I mean, okay. You've been loud and wrong before, and so have we. So we'll see.
I got the Giannis shit right last year.
You got the Anthony Davis shit way wrong.
I did.
I'm gonna circle back to the Western Conference. I'm gonna give that a break 1 second, and I want to hit the East for one thing. We can kind of finish our conversation on Harden and the Sixers. What's their ceiling? K-Dot kind of touched on it, but I want you to give your answer. But I want to start with James.
All right, so the Sixers can win everything, right? But
yeah,
it's like, do we think it's gonna happen? No. Like I'm just waiting for the series, the time when the Sixers play the Nets, and like I just want I pray that happens.
I pray
because look, the both teams got better in that trade, right? Yeah, but the Sixers gave up a lot for somebody they could have gotten the offseason for free, and you gave up all of your bench, your shooting. But so yeah, you got James Harden, but you lost Seth Curry, and you gave up the backup center to Embiid and Drummond, who's going to kill it for the Nets. You picked up DeAndre Jordan, but it's DeAndre Jordan. That's it. That's all I need to say. So they can win it all, but I just don't think it's going to happen. And if it doesn't, then it's a fucking failure.
Yeah, but it's a rental failure.
Yeah, but you gave up some shit for that to happen. Like
I didn't even think about if what James is saying. I forgot to think about what James is saying just from a minutes perspective of like, can Embiid play 40 minutes a night?
That's
how them knees feeling.
He can, but for how long?
No, like, that's what I'm saying, James. That's what I'm saying. Like, can he?
And I don't want to wish that on him because he's a fucking great player. I don't care that he likes Madrid. Like he's an actual great player.
And how's that ham?
He played 33 minutes a game last playoffs.
He's gonna have to play a hell of a lot more.
I know that's what K-Dot was looking at. Hey, he played 33 minutes a game last playoffs.
Hey, he's gonna have to do more. And I don't know if his body's gonna hold up.
All I know is
help around him.
All I know is that since Harden has been in the starting lineup, Joel hasn't gone over 36 minutes and they're undefeated. Rest my case.
Played the Knicks twice.
Rest my case.
Hey, he gonna get 48 minutes of Giannis and 48 minutes of KD, and the Joel Embiid is gonna be sitting for 14 of those minutes, and that's that L. And there's where the L gonna come in.
Okay,
it's gonna come in right there.
And the Sixers are leading by 4. And the Sixers are down by 24.
And B comes back in, puts up another 10, and then sits right back down.
So James, you do think that they can win it all, though?
Yeah, they can because you have Harden and Embiid. But
yeah,
it's their first year together. And I mean, to be honest, you should have did the trade last year.
It's their first month
in the offseason. Yeah, so it's like we'll see what happens, but you gave up everything else that you need to win the championship to do this.
Ryan, what's your ceiling
on the Sixers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the talent level to win. Look, I don't believe in Doc Rivers. I can't.
I can't.
And just wear and tear. Harden's been hurt half the season. Embiid, if he can't play 40 minutes a game, they're just gonna have a hard time. Can they win? Yes. Do I think they are? No.
Okay.
I think the championship's in the West.
I like the head nod because you're like, I'm gonna show these niggas. I'm gonna show these niggas. Go ahead.
Nah, you already heard everything I need to fucking say about the 76ers, right? Like I don't. And I'm just everybody trying to shout me down and then what's their ceiling? Well, they could win a championship. Shut the fuck up. Like I'm just fucking bring on.
You said the same shit about the West. Like you just said you wouldn't be surprised if
still win.
No, I said I would not be surprised if anybody from the West is in the finals. I don't care who it is going to lose in the finals. Hear my point, motherfucker. Like that's what I've been saying.
That doesn't make sense because, like, if you're all right, it's just
whoever from the West makes it to the championship is going to lose in the championship. It's going to lose in the championship. It's going to lose in the championship. That's what I'm saying. Because like anybody that I look that makes it out of these Eastern Conference playoffs is going to be a battle-tested motherfucking team. And I'm saying like the amount of different styles of teams you also have to get through in the goddamn East. Miami, Chicago, fucking what Brooklyn's going to be doing, what Philadelphia is going to be doing. If you make it out of that fucking motley crew of crazy motherfucking teams, I'm sorry, nobody in the East, nobody in the West are going to be able to fucking stand with that.
So the East is better than the West now?
I think that's because of the superstars. And this is what we keep going back to. The stars are in the fucking East.
Okay. I think the best teams are in the West.
The West lost last year. The fucking Giannis put his nuts all over the fucking Phoenix. I'm just saying. And if you think that fucking Milwaukee's worse, fuck off. Chris Paul is older. I know that. But I hope that fucking Giannis is finally getting it. Giannis is a better shooter now. What the fuck?
Okay. Yeah, the East is not. Okay. The East is not winning.
Yeah, I know. But okay.
I love Chicago. I love Chicago. I like they have their issues. I'm saying as a team, I like Chicago and I love what Chicago does.
I thought you were saying like you like the city, like you like the pizza, like what?
You like that little
nice. All right, for the record, Chicago pizza is not fucking pizza. Okay, it's not pizza. It's a pie. All right, you just get and it's amazing, but it's not fucking pizza. I don't know. I
like a lasagna.
Hold on, I thought you were with me on Chicago. Okay.
I am.
I like Chicago. What are we saying though? Like, because I like Chicago because I like Lonzo and I like the team that they've like formed together. Like
I'm saying, I think Chicago's a year away from like really being a contender, but I think that they can make things interesting.
I think they're a superstar away.
I wouldn't even completely disagree with you on that because I really do think you need one, especially in the playoffs.
Number one team in the East
is Miami.
Would be the fourth seed in the West.
I think that's what we're trying to point out to you is like
what me is just the wins and losses. I'm saying that I don't care much about your regular season wins and losses when we're looking at what you got to do to win a 7-game series.
That's fair.
You know what else you got to do to win a 7-game series? You got to be healthy enough to play. Yeah.
You also have to be out there enough to play.
That's so. Hey, look, once again,
the best ability is availability.
If all I've said this too. If you guys are talking about Doc Rivers and his track record, if you talk about James Harden and his track record, you talk about Joel Embiid and his track record. I don't fault you. I'm still saying that I'm standing in my convictions on this particular point. I'm not saying you guys are wrong for believing what it is you're believing. I'm just saying that I'm sticking here.
That's cool.
That's it. That's all I'm saying.
But like
right now,
whatever team comes out the West, they're gonna lose.
Theoretically,
I do think that
should not make the playoffs.
I think that's wild disrespect to the Warriors.
Like you're saying,
I'm not even gonna say Phoenix.
You are. Hold on, you are right. You remember
the Warriors came out the West.
You're right. You remember early on when I first went and I said that the Warriors were if they got their shit together, the Warriors were. So I think I went too far. I went too far. You're right. I do believe the Warriors, if they get their shit together, is the only team out of the West. I'm actually like, okay. So yeah, that was the only one. Yeah, we're on the same page as far as the Warriors, and no one else in the West fucking scares me against the upper echelon of the East. It's just they don't in a 7-game series.
That's fair. I would say okay. So would you even and just you wouldn't throw Lakers in there if they figured it out? If they figure it out, do you think that
what does figure it out look like though?
I don't know.
To me, it's just like they kind of stumble and mumble and just so happen to get through. I can't see them just being lights out. I can see them winning some games, but I don't see them being like lights out, right?
But your argument was superstars, and so I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's fair. Hold on, now the Lakers are going to get smoked in the finals, but they're going to get smoked. Like if they get there, cool. They're going to get smoked in the goddamn
Lakers
finals.
Not getting there, bro.
I so want to see it though. I so want to see it.
Quick question, because this is a scenario that could play out, but it's highly unlikely. Probably 0.01% chance.
The Wizards,
but. Let's say the Bucks make the finals, right? And the Lakers make it. You're picking the Bucks over the Lakers?
So we have to assume that at that point AD is fully healthy.
Fully healthy.
So he's got to deal with Giannis.
70%.
Yes.
And
fuck you. God damn it.
Every game Russ is averaging a triple-double. This is shit.
But hold on. When you think about it, for the Lakers to come out of the West, they got to be playing really good fucking basketball.
That's what I'm saying. If they are playing, like they've got to be
the finals,
playing
good basketball. So like that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, if you say like it don't matter who would come out the
Yeah,
West.
no, fuck it. I'm saying like, give me Milwaukee.
No, yeah. First of all, AD is hurt game 1 because Giannis puts his nuts in his face.
I think that's what happens too. He literally gets nuts in his face, and then Giannis, and then AD, I broke my ankle. I'm out.
AD retires
We
immediately.
can say the same
And
thing.
he's like, yo, I'm not dealing with this shit. Y'all figure out the fuck is going on. I'm out.
And Russell Westbrook starts getting dogged by like Class B point guards.
They punches a fan, and it's
Oh,
just
man.
all out.
Like,
Not
did y'all
happening.
see Reggie Jackson put Russell Westbrook in a blender?
Twice.
That hurt my
I
soul.
didn't see it. What
It was
happened?
twice.
Oh, yeah.
He
crossed
grown man
his ass
stuff.
up.
He went like this.
And then Westbrook
then-
tried to trip him, and then
It was disrespect.
the foul was called, and then he's like, yeah. And then Russ tried to take the ball. He's like, give me that shit. And I'm like, oh no.
I will
You
say,
can't disrespect
I
Brody
don't
like that.
blame Reggie for trying to trip him after what happened. Like, I probably would have done this.
No, Russ tried to trip him.
No, I'm sorry. Russ trying to trip him. Like, he got his soul taken. You just,
Yeah,
hey,
it
fuck
was
you.
it was like some and one shit. Like, you know, you skip down the court, like,
Yeah, he
and you know you
stepped
about
on
to do
him.
some shit, then you did some shit. And if it was bad.
All right,
felt
so
bad.
I think we can all agree, except for K Dot, that the West is better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So going back to the Western Conference real quick. Golden State has been sliding. They're 3-7 in their last 10. Do you guys think Memphis can take the number 2 seed? Also, just to give a quick shout out to Ja. He's one of my favorite players to watch. He was fun to watch when he came to Charlotte and beat the Hornets. And I think he's the future of the point guard position. I hope he stays healthy. I hope he gets a shot to like around 38% from 3, where he could be just unguardable. He's playing like an MVP candidate right now. But do you guys think that Memphis can take the number 2 seed?
Can they take it? Yeah. Can
Do
they
you think they
keep
will?
it?
Do you think they will?
Do they still have Steven Adams?
They do.
I'm
Then
really
yes,
curious.
Yes, they can.
I'm curious. That fucking throw.
And just a monster on the glass. He's in the Aquaman down there. Get out.
I don't know. It's beholden on goal. It's not that I don't think Memphis is capable of being. I just don't think they're better than Golden State, but I don't know how far Golden State's sliding right now.
They play the Lakers tonight.
That's a win.
Oh shit, Lakers going to kick that ass.
No.
They can turn it around right now.
I can-
This is the game.
All right, there's what,
here's
like
the-
20 games left? Or
Yeah, like 2022, something like that.
I can see any team from 6 take the 2 spot if they get hot. They all have the capability of doing so.
Yeah, I don't
If you look
disagree.
at the last 10, like the Nuggets are 8-2, the Mavericks 8-2, the Jazz 8-2, the Grizzlies 7-3, the Suns are 8-2 without Chris Paul. So, to K-Dot's original point, the West is wide open, and you don't know where the standings are going to end at.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But here's the thing with Memphis, and I think this is why, for me, 1, they're super fun to watch, and 2, they're hard to defend. Because if your perimeter defense is even this much off, they will cook you. They will cook you. And then Ja has the ability to literally run down your throat. They don't have like a real big presence in the paint, right? I think they just have Steven Adams. It's just Aquaman down there. But if your perimeter defense isn't set up, Desmond Bane will hit 10 threes in your face. So, like, can they do it? Yeah. But it's gonna take some work, right? Because that's basically their game, right? Is to beat you outside. And if they have an off day, which they have had a lot in the past, where it's Jaren Jackson and Desmond Bane and who's that other kid?
They got Zaire Williams. Brandon
Williams, right? They got some shooters, but like Ja can't do it himself. So
I got some stats for y'all though.
Oh, I was gonna say, go ahead.
The number 1 defensive rating team in the league is the Warriors.
Yep.
2 is the Celtics. 3 is the Suns. 4 is the Cavaliers, and 5 is the Mavericks. And then 6 is the Heat. 7 is the Clippers still, and 8 is Memphis.
Jesus, the Clippers.
So,
Ty Lue is fucking coaching. Ty Lue is
man.
fucking coaching this year. He is coaching his ass. I hope he wins Coach of the Year. He is coaching his ass
so is
off.
Jason Kidd. we were shit defensively. Like we were bad.
Yeah,
The Clippers been good defensively for the past few years. The Clippers been good defensively for the past few years.
I get it,
but they were good when they had Kawhi and Paul George, though.
But we're talking about
even when Kawhi went out, they were still good.
Look,
like they still have good defenders.
We're talking about a league-wide award, and someone from Dallas came out of your mouth. I'm disregarding it. I'm looking at the championship odds. Suns, Warriors, and Nets are all tied for top. Which two Western teams. So
which is crazy because the Nets could theoretically not make the playoffs, right?
They are absolutely going to make the playoffs.
they're in the
theoretically. He said
theoretically. They're in the playing game. You lose one, right? It's not a 7-game series.
Yeah, so the New York teams are just gonna switch owners, and James Dalton's gonna.
Nah, Ryan, my bad. I had no idea they were that far down.
Yeah, they're an 8 seed right now. They could lose 2 straight games
because everybody's been hurt.
Out.
But
the East is so close. But the East is closer than the West.
Yeah, the East is close as shit.
Before we get to that, I do want to say I think the Warriors should fight for their life to get to the number 2 seed, because to a point James tried to make earlier and is still making and what ADOT said, the West is wide open, and I think you might get because I think Denver's about to get healthy and they have a better team than Dallas does. Utah has a better team than Dallas does. Dallas could end up in that 6 seed, but they're also a team that I could see beating whoever the 3 seed is.
Well, they have better players, not a better team. But I hear you.
That's isn't Kadeem. Kadeem.
I'm out. It broke my head. It broke my brain.
Okay. All right. Look. All right. You know what? I'm gonna bring it back to 2011 for one last point, and then y'all go ahead. The Heat had better players.
They had a better team.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
They had a better team.
We look at it differently. We look at it differently. But it's cool. It's cool. That's fine. Like we just agree to disagree. It's cool. We don't have to stick on it. We can move on. So what was your other point?
All right. So I think that whoever is the number 3 seed could get beaten by the number 6 seed Dallas Mavericks or the number 6 seed Denver Nuggets.
Yeah. No, I agree. And
any team could beat any team in the
West.
Just
to go back, Brooklyn is one 1 week injury away because they just lost Joe Harris for the rest of the year. Brooklyn is 1 injury away from just staying in the playing game.
That's why it was so important they got Seth Curry.
Seth Curry has not been shooting well this year.
I also think this kind of makes
neither was Joe Harris.
K-Dot's point. Because would you say the same thing about the East? Can any team in the East beat any team in the East? Because I don't think that's the case. I know Miami's at the top, Chicago's at the top, and I don't think they're top. Either one of them are top 3 to win a championship in the East. I fear none of them. I fear none of them.
I
don't fear Jimmy. I don't fear Bam. I don't fear DeRozan and his newfound skill set. I don't fear.
DeRozan's been the same DeRozan, bro.
I mean,
DeRozan the same DeRozan.
He's more efficient from mid-range now than he's ever been. But yeah,
the top 6.
He's only shot mid-range because he don't shoot 3s.
He doesn't shoot.
Yeah, but he's more efficient though. He used to shoot like 44% from the mid-range area. He's shooting 53%, which is like KD level numbers, which is insane. So like,
he's got a better people around him.
I don't think. Well, I don't know because I feel like Toronto had enough shooters around him, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so like
I think the top
in the
6.
East, I think it's only 3 teams.
But
it's
I think
Brooklyn, Milwaukee.
Anybody in this top 6 can beat anybody else in the top 6. I think.
You were saying the East?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the playoff series, you think Miami can beat Philly?
Yeah.
I think
no.
They can.
I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe it.
I mean, Justin Embiid, if we're talking playoff Harden.
You're right.
We're talking playoff Bam. Like I'm not even like I'm not worried about Bam. Jimmy will do his thing.
Mm-hmm. But
Tyler Hero will
Bam
get
to
some
do?
shots off. He'll have a couple good games. But I think that's about it though.
What do you expect Bam to do?
Game Vincent?
I mean, Bam's supposed to be their second best player. He's supposed to be defensive guy and get you about 18, 20. So I don't think he's him versus Embiid.
Yeah, but when Embiid sits down, who they putting in?
Yeah, but Bam's not a physically imposing guy though. Like, so it's not like you gotta it's when you're sitting Embiid, now you gotta face Wilt or some shit. It's like you're still facing Bam Adebayo.
You don't think he's like, well, no, I mean, I think that the talent levels drops off significantly
The
when
Sixers play the Heat today.
when you get to the 7th seed. Yeah, that's gonna be a good game. 2:00.
Didn't they just beat them? Didn't the Sixers just beat the Heat?
I think it was the other way around.
Well, Sixers haven't lost since they got, or I'm not sure. Let me.
I don't know.
Never lost.
Shut up.
Yeah, you played the fucking Knicks twice, man.
Whoa, Obi Toppin? Come on, man.
That man's averaging like 4 points a game, bro.
No, they have not played the Heat in a while.
No, they haven't. But they just the Sixers.
They beat him. They beat him in January, though.
Yes. Different team.
And he had 25 in the second half.
Philadelphia was slightly different then.
No, I'm saying Philly beat the.
No, I know. I'm saying Philadelphia's a fairly different team now.
Mm-hmm.
You pretty much throw everything out on Philadelphia. It's different.
Yep.
The Bucks just beat the Heat. That's what it was. Bucks beat the Heat, but I think Jimmy Butler didn't play because I saw Heat fans getting Jimmy.
Oh,
Heat fans, I like, yeah, we can beat them. We didn't have Jimmy and we didn't have X, and I'm like, all right, guys.
The Bucks just beat the
Whatever
Bulls
you
last
say.
night too.
All right, Bucks are good. I love the
That
Bucks.
was a good game, though.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
So what you were saying as far as the East being top heavy, I agree. There's a separation if I'm looking at playoffs between those top 3 teams. In no particular order right now, because I don't feel like debating that. Sixers, Nets, and Bucks, right? But I don't think the other teams are anything to like scoff at. Like I really do think that there's a lot of good talent. These teams are going to be hard to get through in a 7-game series. I don't think Miami's going to be a cakewalk for anybody. I think Chicago's not going to be a cakewalk for anybody. Boston is not a cakewalk, period. Then we get into like the Atlanta. Any given series, if somebody's feeling it, I don't know, but they're not scare me because we're talking about now we have the cut below. And I put Toronto and Cleveland in that.
Yeah, and it's like we gotta show the Heat some respect.
And here's the thing,
but that's disrespectful.
I'm saying that they're a cut below. Remember what I think about the East.
I'm saying that's disrespectful not to put Cleveland in the Boston tier because here's the thing about Boston. They're on a win streak right now. They're playing out of their minds, but a lot of the games they play like the injured Nets. Like they haven't beaten like a bunch of good teams. Like they're starting to now play some good teams, and we'll see how they do. But their wins and during this like win streak didn't come against like just hell of quality opponents.
I'd be fine with that. You can put them in that second category. That's fine. I'm just waiting for LeBron to get traded to Cleveland and run them.
Yeah, give up Okoro, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, and get LeBron.
Oh, Lakers are in the finals. How about that? Huh? Kevin Love's just looking around. So you came back, huh?
I feel bad for
Remember when he was trying to force his way out last year?
Yeah.
That's
Remember
insane.
That inbounds play? He's just
now he their six. Yeah, and now he their 6th man. That's crazy. He don't even start no more.
He doesn't care.
No, he cares now because they good.
No, he doesn't care. He ain't starting. He's like, yeah, I mean, I get my 20 or my 18 or my 6 threes.
Yeah.
All right.
Kevin Love got so disrespected.
They do have a loaded front court though.
Yeah.
Mobley,
they were bad.
Allen.
They were bad when Garland was out.
And they've been starting Mobley and Allen, and I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So before we wrap this up, I want to ask, like,
that'll give the Sixers some issues though.
Yeah. To kind of, I agree. To kind of give to discuss, to kind of put our discussion into some kind of context or some kind of more wrap it up better. Give me your, I'll say 6 teams in order of who you think can win a championship. Just the strongest capability potential. If you can, like, if you're envisioning it from a perspective of if this team is fully healthy, this is
they're fully healthy, playing at the best of their ability.
Yes.
Everyone at the best of their ability.
Yes. Give me 1 through 6, from 1 being this is the team most likely to win a championship, and 6 being the least likely to win a championship out of the top tier teams.
Brooklyn, Philly, Golden State, Milwaukee. Heat. No. Yeah. Heat. No. Phoenix Heat. Am I at 6?
I think that's 6.
Okay.
I think that's 6. Yeah. Y'all want me to go? Y'all still looking? I can go.
Yeah.
Throw the Lakers somewhere in there, maybe.
Okay. Here. For me, it's Brooklyn, Golden State, Milwaukee, Philly, Lakers. Hold on. Phoenix.
All right. For me, it is Brooklyn Nets,
Dallas.
Golden State Warriors, Milwaukee Bucks, Philadelphia 76ers, the Suns, and the Heat. Just because
Me
the
and James
Suns and
have
the Heat,
a similar list. Yeah.
because the Suns and the Heat, like they're both the number 1 seeds for a reason. So, like, yeah.
But
You gotta give them credit for that.
they're like 2 games from being like overtaken and being like the 5th seed.
I mean,
to be
it's
fair.
true. Well, not the Suns. But,
No, not the Suns. I'm just saying the Heat. Yeah, I'm just saying the Heat.
yeah, that's true. But I mean, the fucking Heat had injury issues too this year, so
Yeah.
they're still there. So like they're there for a reason. So you can't like discount them.
Bo's a top 3 coach, man. Top 3 coach.
Yes.
Maybe top 2 and not 2.
What's your list, Ryan?
I got Golden State, Brooklyn.
Did you put Golden State number 1? Okay.
We'll address it
Phoenix,
after.
Philly, Milwaukee, and then Chicago.
Now, why did you have Golden State number 1?
Okay.
Because fully healthy, that they're probably the most dangerous team in the league.
But
So,
who's the best player on that team?
I think so.
Andrew Wiggins.
Probably Wiseman when he comes back.
Oh, okay. No. Did we already officially like put that shit to bed? Like
What,
the
Andrew
beef between you?
Wiggins?
No,
Andrew Wiggins and James Wiseman will carry Steph Curry to the
The beef,
championship.
Yeah,
the beef
like-
between you and Steph Curry, or are you
Well,
starting that up again?
Well, who knows? Is he,
Okay.
is he
All
shooting two for 30 in a playoff game, making me
Mm.
look like a fool?
Who knows?
All right.
Yeah, Golden State's still really good. They
Yeah.
just been injured. So
All right. I like those lists. So we can move to final thoughts.
Oh, we're here already? God damn. No football
Does anybody
talk.
have anything else?
All right, my final thought is your Commander Corner. Commander's Corner with K-Dot. So Washington is in Indianapolis with all the other teams doing the whole Stanley Combine thing. And there are a few stories that have been coming out, especially because of how much our GM and coach like to speak, Martin Mayhew and Ron Rivera. So apparently what we have been doing is looking at all 32 teams in the league and for the list of 42 quarterbacks and seeing what it would take to go get them, including we called the Kansas City Chiefs about Patrick Mahomes. Got to give us credit and a little bit of moxie to just see what the fuck was out there. I'm really curious.
that's what I'd call it.
I'm really curious what it is that conversation sounded like with Kansas City. Hold on, what? You want Patrick Mahomes? What? But you also hear that we did actually give a firm offer to the Seattle Seahawks for Russell Wilson, and they said no. Apparently, it was like 2 first-round draft picks and probably a player or something else. But look, Washington is going all out in their quarterback search. There's a lot of different prevailing thoughts in the sense that some people are saying we're being entirely too open and honest with what it is we're doing with our quarterback search. But I appreciate the immediacy. And my top pick, I would think, if we go in the draft, if we do draft a quarterback, I am hopeful it's Malik Willis. But I'm hoping it's Malik Willis with a combination of a free agent Teddy Bridgewater. I think that'd be a nice combo to have, bridge quarterback sort of situation going forward. But we'll see. I have my own list of guys that I really, really want to see put on the Commander uniform.
Do you think based on historical data that any of those people will end up as a Washington Commander?
Huh? Is it historical data? Do I think? I don't.
Any of the right players will end up on the Washington Commander.
If I look at it from a free agency standpoint, except for the quarterback position, we've actually done a fairly good job as far as free agents and getting them in here. Except the Amari Cooper thing last year, which fucking sucked. And the Matt Stafford trade that fell apart too. Apparently, they're thinking about Mitch Trubisky. I'm sad now.
Hey, Mitch Trubisky would not be a terrible pickup.
I don't know, not for us. It doesn't work for us.
And I don't read option with Trubisky.
Look, here's the thing. Washington is basically in the exact same situation we were in last year, which was that
Nothing got better.
I think we did get a little bit better, but we have a defense. We got Terry McLaurin, and then
we had all that shit last year too.
Did you just wake up? I just said that we're the same thing that we were last year.
I thought you said you were better. I thought you were
slightly, but I just think it's because certain aspects that we have gotten better as the year went on this year. But I need a quarterback. We went and got Ryan Fitzpatrick. He spent more quarters in Buffalo for that goddamn playoff game than he did playing for the Commanders. Okay, so like he got quick. And we have Taylor Heineke, and it was the Taylor Heineke. All right, what do we have here? Jury's done. The case has been decided. Taylor, we're going to make you one of the highest paid backups in the league. You do not need to be starting for us. So we're in the exact same situation. The reason I would say that we're better is that we know who Taylor Heineke is now. So that's eliminated as far as the process. We don't have to fuck with that. I don't like the idea of bringing in Mitchell Trubisky who you don't know what you have. I'd rather get somebody even if. Shut up. Shut up. I like a Teddy Bridgewater idea in the sense that you know who Teddy is, you know what kind of production he's going to bring to you. And if you need to get like a young kid, like a Malik Willis, who's a 2-year project, he's at least a 1 year. I'd make him a 2-year project quarterback. That fucking his throw, that deep ball, man. Jesus Christ, wicked throw. But he looks raw. So unless you can get an Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or a Deshaun Watson, who I know Vegas has as the lead to get, and throw that out there too. Deshaun Watson, never mind. I'm going to say that. All right, I'm done.
I'm glad you did. I'm so glad you didn't say it. I think I know where you were going, and I'm so glad you didn't say it.
Now I'm so curious as to where you think I was going.
We can talk about it after.
No, just say it right now. Fuck it. I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
Is I saw the Batman, and I just want to say I think everybody should go see it. I really, really, really thoroughly appreciate the score and the theme song for the Batman. I bought it on iTunes. I like it so much, and I've made it my alarm clock. It's a really good movie. Matt Reeves did his thing. If you've watched, any Matt Reeves films, he did the Apes movies, which were really good. I loved all the Planet of the Apes movies. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, War for the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I did that in the wrong order, but they were all good. But the Batman is just must-see TV. I know Robert Pattinson got a lot of flack when he was announced as the new Batman. Like he got a lot of negative shit, but he was great, man. And we're going to talk about this more in depth on an episode of Unequal Opinions next week.
Cool. Ryan, did you already go?
I have not.
And then Two-Face showed up, and it was just like...
He's joking, bro. He's joking. Come on back. Come on back.
I know you guys can hear me. I can't hear you. I threw him too far. Now my fat ass has got to try to bend down under this table. You cocksucking mother... God damn it.
The struggle is very real right now.
Ryan, do you want to go? Or you want me to go?
I'll go. Fuck Rob Manfred. It's clear that the owners don't care, and Rob Manfred doesn't care about baseball. They started negotiations like a week before the deadline. They had over 3 months to start. You see the players are putting together a fund for all these people who are now out of work. That's not on them. Those people are not the employees of the players. It's sad to see because they were so close allegedly. And then the MLB came back and basically gave him an offer that was, not even close to what's fair, what's reasonable. The revenues are up 2-3 times every year for the owners. It's just bullshit. So Rob Manfred has to go. I hope he stubs his fucking toe every single morning from today until he dies.
Damn, that's tough. Okay.
Does America care that baseball's got?
A lot of America does.
Yeah. Well, the hobby Twitter for sure.
But that's the thing, is like that entire populace is going to die off from old age in like at least 5 years. So I'm just wondering, do we just wait it out?
That's not true, man.
That's not true.
There's a lot of little kids that are like ripping open baseball cards.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah, there's a lot of little kids who don't like bat flipping. I'm serious. I'm dead ass. I am dead ass. They're like, I'm dead ass. I'm so dead ass.
Yeah. So you're talking about that video that was on Twitter this week, right?
Listen, I'm telling you, I'm serious though. I think they're like those baseball fans are not all of them, because I don't want to generalize, but a significant portion of them are a type. They fit a personality type.
The college Republicans.
That's your words, not mine.
Okay. They wear khakis and button downs, but it doesn't call for it.
They wear Sperry's with no socks, with boat shorts.
All right, so my turn.
Todd, why are you wearing New Balances? We're going to the club.
Oh God! All right, I got two final thoughts.
Okay.
First one, it's a little bit more serious. A couple minutes ago, Brittany Griner was detained in Russia for hash oil. I'm trying to figure out first off why the fuck she's in Russia.
I think she plays there.
Like, yeah, overseas, but like when they kind of like said, you know, we're gonna start a war, that's how you get the fuck out. There's no
No one's worried about bombs dropping in Russia. That's all I'm saying.
My cousin just got back from the Ukraine yesterday, so I got like.
Okay, well,
she plays because she's a WNBA player and she plays.
Yeah,
cool. Glad you're safe, for real. All right, so that's one. The second one, a little bit more lighthearted. I'm really enjoying the football that Barcelona is playing right now. It took me back to when I first started watching. Ryan, don't kill me, but this is when they had Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets in his prime and shit like that. I really love the football they're playing. Thank you, Xavi, for coming and coaching the club. Pedri, Gavi, I fucking love it. This is the first time in a while that I like woke up and watched midfielder highlights in the morning before I started my workday. It's been helping me a lot because I'm going through this long ass audit, and yeah, fucking sucks. But I get to watch them.
Welcome for Aubameyang, just like. Now.
Yeah, I mean, but you see what happened when we put in Memphis too. Like at this point, it don't really matter who we got up top, but Aubameyang's a great scorer, so that's what we need him for. Appreciate it. That man had, I think he scored like 6 goals in like 4 games.
It's supposed to be 65 degrees today.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right, I gotta take a shit. So
are we?
I'll meet you at the store.
Whoa!
Are you guys meeting up?
Yeah, here in a little bit.
There's an ASOS meetup.
You want to come down?
Fucking no, because apparently those goddamn truckers are supposed to be fucking with the Beltway today. So, those truckers that we're talking about, they're in Hagerstown right now. Supposed to be heading south. I was supposed to go to DC later. I don't even know if that's going to happen.
How far south?
They're supposed to try to clog the Beltway. Yeah, y'all have fun. Also, just as far as Ukraine did get brought up, if you go online, look for Voices of Children. Voices_of_children on Instagram. These guys are people that I've been working with over the course of the last week trying to get funds for children that have been displaced by the what's happening in the Ukraine. Also, United Help PUA, also on Instagram. Another great organization is trying to get relief a lot to the refugees that have had to flee Ukraine. If you have anybody that you know that is in Russia, friends, family, make sure that you're getting videos and things from the front lines to them to make sure that they know and understand the full breadth of what's happening in the Ukraine so that they can stand up against Putin, because that is the only way this entire thing is going to stop, is if the Russian people themselves stand up and rise up against Vladimir Putin.
They shut down. You basically, it's hard to get information into Russia.
I know that's, you can still use phone, you can still call, you can still use email, you can still do text messages. That's the way that we have to change the tide of this thing, because it's only going to get worse.
All right, y'all. Love y'all. Peace.
Love.
Man, they're going to DC.